Welcome, scholars. In this presentation, I will be advocating for improving student literacy in high school and middle school by sharing responsibility among all content areas. So let's get started. As you can see here, the National Council for Educational Statistics found that 8 million students cannot read at grade level. Worse, 94% of students in the United States are unable to independently read and glean information from specialized texts. That means your textbooks, content textbooks. At Noonan High School, my survey found that nearly 74% of content teachers thought that their students are unable to read for comprehension. I am advocating for all teachers in middle and high school to feel responsible for improving literacy and therefore content knowledge by teaching students how to close read. This means annotating or taking notes as they read. Students will have to look up words that they are unfamiliar with, briefly summarize any areas in their own words, and interact with the text on a personal level, then write a reflection. My advocacy map plan starts with the support matrix. In this support matrix, one must look at the stakeholders who would be most challenging to influence to support close reading across the content areas. These are the minds that you hope to change. For my initiative, the most challenging will be those teachers who do not feel they should be teaching reading in high school. There are others who will say they do not have time to do so because of their pacing guides. There will be some who struggle with grading, and even those who feel literacy is not a strength for them. There are administrators at Noonan High School that do not want teachers encouraging literacy outside the ELA classroom. Students may object and say they don't want to be taught English, which they view as reading and writing in a history or business class, leaving teachers to defend the importance of being a good reader. On the other hand, when one looks at those who support improving literacy through close reading, at the top of the food chain would be the school board, because they're always focusing on improving the students' scores, both because they care and because they answer to the tax-paying public. Administrators want to increase scores in reading and writing, and they want more students to be able to leave high school career and college ready. Those with little power to support teaching of reading and writing would be low-income parents of students, particularly those who have low literacy and would love to see their students attend college, and students who just don't value literacy. The influence matrix gives more insight into those stakeholders who can actually make change. In the case of a sweeping paradigm shift, the school board administrators would need to be in the group that you would gain favor regarding teaching, reading, and writing in content areas. However, teachers are the ground force. Without their acceptance and accountability, close reading will not happen, despite the plethora of scholarly research that supports teaching literacy strategies to improve student comprehension in content areas. Some of these teachers will have little influence, but those who have the ear of administration might be very influential. Those who might have high influence but low importance when it comes to changing the school to a culture of literacy could be parents, NHS alumni, and local community leaders and businesses. Of course, there are students who believe that they're already advanced or gifted and will balk at the idea of more reading and writing, and they will enlist their parents to complain about it. At the micro level or school level, I've already begun to advocate for close reading across the content with my research surveys. These help to raise awareness of literacy issues in all subject areas. The results were actually stunning, with the majority of teachers agreeing that students at Noonan High School have poor background knowledge, a weak vocabulary with which to understand complex texts, and little interest in improving their literacy skills. A vast amount of educational research, however, has found that all students of all ability levels can improve their comprehension when they're challenged to read and write in content areas. To outreach content teachers, sharing books on literacy that can improve their understanding of why teaching students to annotate is so important. Teachers of all content areas need to know how to teach close reading, how to find sources, and how to grade it. Organizing professional development that's on campus and face-to-face will be more effective for my cause once we return to normal whatever that will be. Parents need to be enlisted to understand why it is so important that their students read, write, and annotate in all of their classes so they can understand that content teachers are not teaching English. Brochures, parent training, and encouraging them to monitor Infinite Campus will go a long way. Invitations to Google Classroom, where they can see exemplars, would help parents to understand what we are teaching and why. To influence students is the tricky part because they do not read. Even AP Lang students admitted to using online sources so they wouldn't have to read. Whenever possible, however, students should be given the opportunity to read and write. It's important that this doesn't become busy work. The reading should be engaging, especially at the beginning of teaching them that strategies. You have to mentor them, reteach it when they become lazy or off task. And finally, let students be part of the choosing what they want to read or what they want to close read. That allows them ownership of their own learning. Macro-level influences are those influences outside the sphere of local governance where teachers can make a difference in education. You need to join teacher organizations at the state level like PAGE and GAE, who have lobbyists that work at the state level for change. Joining and attending regional and state conferences, creating proposals and submitting them so that you can influence other teachers in your state by presenting the workshops on close reading can help. Become a member of organizations in your content area and read the journals that they produce. Share those great ideas with your colleagues. Give publishing a try or create a blog where you can share your innovations and insight with others. Take advantage of online educational sites and technology where students can annotate online. Kami and GrackleMark integrate with Google Docs. NewsELA, Common Lit, and Khan Academy, these are all great sources. Finally, advocate at your college and other Georgia colleges. Share the importance of teaching teachers how to teach students to close read and annotate. There are a lot of scholarly sources for literacy advocacy. A few I found helpful are on this page. NCTE, International Literacy Association, the National Education Association, and the International Reading Association. All of these allow members to access their journals. They provide conferences and resources that encourage literacy and lifelong learning. Thank you all for being in this program with you guys. I've really enjoyed learning with you, and it's been my honor to be a colleague, and I hope we can all stay in touch. Thank you.